Hello, lovelies. This is 5 Minute Manifesting, and I'm your host, Lovey Brown. Thank you so much for listening. I am thrilled that you are here. So today I want to talk about some questions you can ask yourself when you're manifesting something, anything at all, and how your answers to those questions can influence and help you know what track you're on in terms of whether your head or your thoughts are in the place where your manifestation can come through and reach you in the 3D reality. So we're going to talk about those questions. But first I want to say that you can do this, right? Like, even if you've had a lot of years of no success, or some time period where you just didn't, you've been trying and trying and trying. Every moment is a fresh start where you can start over and say, like, okay, well, let's keep going. Let's keep trying. Let's find something new and just look at this and put on like your little scientist coat and look at what you're thinking and what you're feeling and what you're doing in your life and see if it hasn't worked for you, that what you might want to change or what you might not want to change. Either way. So here are the questions that I came up with for us to go over about just things that you can ask yourself if you're in a place of frustration and you are not really feeling like you're seeing success. So first of all, ask yourself, do you know what you want? And I know that question may seem silly or like obvious, like, of course I know exactly what I want. And if you do, great. But get as clear as possible on exactly what you want. And if you aren't very clear on it, go ahead and get clear. Go ahead and and I really think you can get as specific as you want here, right? You can really go into this with a lot of specificity. And then even if you turn out that you don't get exactly that to begin with, you can keep going, right? If you get something close, you can keep going. And if you get something different that you end up loving and you decide you don't want to manifest the thing that you originally thought you wanted, that's okay too. Everything is okay in manifesting. Everything is okay in your feelings, right? And in your internal world. So, do you know what you want, and how clearly can you articulate that picture? So just take a little bit, even if you've been manifesting for a long time and you feel like you know exactly what you want, just spend a little bit of time with this question. I try to revisit this question a lot, and sometimes I find that I don't really know for sure what I want in the moment, and it's hard for me to articulate, and I really have to spend a lot of time thinking about it. And sometimes I don't even answer the question. I'm like, you know what, right now I don't know for sure, and I let that be okay. That's the next thing. Like, also just a little tip to keep in mind, like, let whatever is happening in your internal world be okay. And let it all mean that you're getting closer to your manifestation. So that's the first question. Do I know what I want? Do you know what you want? And just spend a little time with that question. Now, the next question, after you've clearly defined it and you know exactly what you want, a relationship with a specific person, or you want, a job where you work 4 days a week, or whatever it is, whatever you want, then the next question I want you to ask yourself is, what kind of thoughts does the version of yourself that has exactly that have? What kind of thoughts does the version of yourself that has exactly that have? What are they thinking? What is the version of you that has exactly what they want think about all day long? I mean, you don't have to really think about it all day long, but just what kind of thoughts they have, and just think about what they think, this version of yourself that has exactly the thing that you want. What kind of thoughts do they have? Not just about that thing, but about anything. Like, what kind of thoughts are they thinking in their daily life? Are they thinking, like, I'm so excited to go home and have dinner with my family? Are they thinking, I really love spending time with my colleagues at this dream job that I have? Whatever kind of thoughts that they have, what kinds of thoughts are those? And then try to write a few of those down. And then the last question I want you to ask yourself is, am I thinking those thoughts on a regular basis? So what you're going to do, what manifesting is a lot of the time, is changing your mind about things. It's thinking different thoughts than you currently have on purpose. So even if you don't normally think something like, oh gosh, I can't wait to have dinner with my family, start thinking that thought on purpose, even though it maybe isn't exactly what you're going to do tonight. You're just trying that thought on in your internal world to see how it feels. And it's going to feel different than the thoughts that you have now when that thing isn't in your life. So the question again was, am I thinking those thoughts, the thoughts of the version of you that has exactly what you want, on a regular basis? Are you thinking those thoughts on purpose? And so just a couple of 2-3 times a day, you don't have to do it for long, although you can do it as much as you want. Really think those thoughts on purpose. So take your list, go ahead and write down the thoughts that the version of you that has exactly what you want would have, and then think those thoughts on purpose. So that's my podcast for today. Thank you so much for listening. I am so thrilled that you are here, and may you manifest exactly what you want.